Just as the gaming world became more portable with home video game consoles and later through mobile devices, arcades for many became a thing of the past. But one Coon Rapids man made it his mission to keep quarters dropping with hopes of high scores right here in Anoka County.
This is a candy store. To somebody that enjoys playing it, am I done again? Wow. But yeah, there's over 40 machines here at all times. They have the ones here like this one. Costs a whole quarter to play 3 balls.
People from all over the metro come here, but not for the bowling, food, or drinks. Blainbrook Bowl is a beacon of bumpers, a faction of flippers, the pinnacle of pinball prowess.
It was definitely a shock. You walk in here and you just see a line up like this and this many machines in one spot. You just you feel like a kid again.
Many discovered the game at a time when they were shorter, but quarters lasted longer.
I started playing at a resort up north at the age of 6 in 1966. Back when games were a dime a game, 3 games for a quarter, 5 balls per play. I played every time we're at resorts. I'd go search out pinball machines.
Most drifted away from the machines that drew them in for so many Saturdays.
1995 was the last time that I had played pinball. My son was born January 3rd of 1995. He was born with a birth defect called spina bifida, hydrocephalus, Arnold Carey malformation. Life just changes. There's a lot of cares to deal with any special needs child. And I wouldn't trade those in.
Scott Abell and his family had much bigger concerns than reaching a top score or finding loose quarters.
Lance had, like 68 or 73 surgeries.
With Scott's son Lance unable to play pinball because of wheelchair restrictions, the Abell family found fun through other sports, whether it be playing baseball or going to Saints, Wolves, or Vikings games.
Lance was at one point a half-pint hero at the Saints games, and that meant that he got to throw out the first pitch. When the times were good, they were good. When they were bad, well, the memories are always there.
In 2009, life took another turn.
It's hard. He had come home from school. The teachers thought he didn't quite look right, and he wasn't. Lance came home by 10 o'clock in the morning, or was back home by 10 o'clock in the morning, and he was dead by 7:30 that night. One part of the 4 chambers of the heart was flabby. It was something that we didn't expect to look for, and so nobody ever did. We had everything else to look for.
He soon needed any form of distraction when his days darkened.
Your life goes back to normal with a great big hole in it. And depression is very common, and it still is today. I mean, he's been gone for 7 years, but I needed to get back into something that I enjoyed. I needed something to get my mind off of it, and this is actually my psychology in helping me get to this point. It was an escape. It was relaxation. It gave me 3 hours where I didn't have to concentrate on anything but a little silver ball. And it was like, oh, this is what I needed. This is what I wanted.
Getting just what they wanted, pinball has become an activity to share together for Jamie and Melissa MacFarland.
It was the type of thing where we went from being couch potatoes to, we're not real active for medical reasons and whatnot. And it's the one thing we can do and still feel a little bit of the competitiveness.
Their pastime grew into a battle for points, bonus balls, and bragging rights.
And of course we were really nervous, like, oh, I don't know, we're not that good, that sort of thing, like everybody, is confronted with when they're asked if they want to join. But luckily we accepted and we participated and started showing up every month after that. It was a lot of fun.
For Donny May of Coon Rapids, it's about collecting quarters, creating memories, and keeping the game alive for his pinball playing patrons.
Well, it was something I really liked as a small kid, and I used to hang out at Bowling Center in Maplewood, where they had like you know, 6 or 7 pinball machines, and I just got into playing them, and I got good at it. And then I'd wait for the service techs to show up, and eventually they'd let me mess around with the machines and, you know, fix things up, and bought my first machine when I was 12.
It wasn't long until he realized he could make more than the change from his friends' pockets.
I did sell it after I had it about a year and made a lot of money on it, and that's where it all started. I'm thinking, wow, there's something into this. I'm gonna keep this going, so I've been doing it ever since.
But in the mid-1990s, machines' lights went dark and flippers stood still. With younger generations favoring at-home video game consoles, most thought it was game over for arcades and pinball alike.
All the arcade games went down, you know, and then arcades were closing. Pinball survived until about '97. That really had a lot to do with it. The home consoles basically killed the arcade.
Pinball did die, you know, big time. The vendors didn't want to operate them anymore because they're too much maintenance. It was too costly, and the machinery got really expensive. So
Donny helped resurrect the game he loves in the metro area.
And then I became one of the owners here at Blainbrook, and it was time to do something different in this room, and that was my opportunity. We needed to fill some space up, and this was the answer. And people were doubtful, but it's really worked out well.
It started off because of the world ranking thing was pretty good, but then I realized, yeah, my skill set don't match some of these players. It's, you know, when you see them come in, you might as well just basically say, yeah, okay, I'm done.
The co-owner of Blainbrook Bowl also owns all 45 of its pinball machines, oversees their maintenance, and buys and sells them regularly.
I just like to make people happy, get a smile on their face, and pinball is something different.
The lineup fluctuates in size because, well, let's face it, pinball, you're wheeling and dealing, people are always wanting to buy, sell. He's trying to improve the lineup, he upgrades, he sells, he moves stuff around. So, you know, he's trying to keep the lineup fresh.
They each have their favorites.
This and Buccaneer and Sinbad. There's always a lot of color in every one of them.
Just about every machine in here is a favorite of mine to a point, you know.
It's almost like saying, what's your favorite kid? But right now, basically the one here, I gotta say, that I play on a regular basis would be Jurassic Park, just because love the movie, love the theme. It's a fun game.
Although they compete for trophies, national rankings, and cash prizes, most players say that's not why they keep pushing buttons.
Now I understand the folly of pinball.
There's a tendency to bring it back to your childhood, whether you want to or not, because you get excited when you find quarters in your couch cushions and stuff like that.
You know, sooner or later you're going to fail or tilt, but you do it for enjoyment, your own satisfaction.
Check it out, because you might find a game from your past that you just all of a sudden like, wow, I haven't seen that. It's good for family as well. You can bring up your son, daughter. We have a lot of father and sons that come up here. Husband and wives come in for the monthly tournaments. It's pinball. What more do I got to say?
Steve Manfred took home the top prize with Scott Abell coming in second. Blainbrook Bowl holds tournaments at no additional cost over the quarters to play on the first Sunday and second Saturday of each month at 2 p.m. with cash prizes for the winners.